Hey everybody, this is your Strength for Runners workout. In terms of equipment today, you'll want a few different options for weights. We're going to continue working through our squats from last block. We're also continuing with some reverse lunges, so grab a few different sets of weights that would work for those. And we are going to need access to a bench or a chair. We do have a warm-up, so let's make our way down to the mat to get that guy started. So coming down into a deep lunge position, I'm going to show you this from the side, and then we'll break down what the actual movement is. So we're coming down into a deep lunge. One leg is front, back knee is down, toes are untucked. Hands come inside that front leg, and I'm pushing my chest up nice and open. From here, we're simply gonna rotate open, so I'm getting some nice external rotation from the hip, and then we're coming back to tap the shoulder. We're gonna go for about 10 reps here. So we rotate open, and then tap the shoulder. We also get a nice little movement through that ankle as well. Really making sure that nothing else has a severe movement, so we don't want to compensate with the upper body here. And we're just prepping those hips for our squats. Let's go for about 5 more. Very nice. We'll just simply switch legs for this next one, giving yourself a moment to find the best base for yourself. And then we have 10 more hinges. So we open it out to the side, close it back off. So in today's workout, like I said at the beginning, we're going to continue with the squat variation that we were working on in our baseline block, so weeks 1 through 3. And we're going to play a little bit with some wave loading. So we're going to go for lighter loads for 10 reps, and then we're going to add some load for some nice heavy 5 reps. Just to give you an idea of what you're in for today. Let's go for 1 more on this side. Perfect. All right, flipping onto the back, we've got a single leg bridge into a knee drive. So let's do left leg on the ground, right leg is long, hands are on the ground. All we're gonna do here is drive the hips up to the ceiling, pull that knee into the chest. Let's go for 10. So we inhale down, exhale, push. After you hit 10 on one side, we simply switch 10 more on that right leg. Once you hit your 10 and 10, we're gonna stand it up, grab a medium weight, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna go for a 15-pound bell right here. We've got a little deep squat to curl. So eyes on me, and then we'll do this together. Dumbbell or kettlebell, we start this up at the chest. We're gonna sink down into our deep squat. We uncurl, recurl, push the floor away to stand. If you're somebody who has some limited ankle dorsiflexion, so that knee over toe position, we're gonna grab your medium set of weights, or if you have a slant board, you're gonna stand on top of those, heels elevated, just to give you a little bit more range of motion. So we're gonna go for 5 reps here. 5th one, we'll hold down for 30 seconds. Let's go for it. Grab that weight, we'll bring it up at the chest. So we take a big inhale. We open up that weight, curl it back in. Big push out of the bottom to stand. 4 more. Try to keep that chest tall. Good. Do your full curl right here. And then we're just gonna hang out for 30 seconds, lifting the chest up tall, sinking those hips down in between the feet, and breathe. At the bottom of your next exhale, ditch your weight. We will roll it on up, and that is your movement prep. So we're gonna move right into our power work. What you're gonna need here is a few different sets of weights. We're gonna be working on some single arm cleans. So if you're a dumbbell person, grab a few different dumbbells. If you're a kettlebell person, grab a few different kettlebells. And then we are also gonna need access to either a wall or the back of a chair if you're somebody that needs a little bit more help with balance. So let's make our way into that. All right, moving into our power, we're gonna start with a single arm clean. So kettlebell people, people, I'm gonna assume you already understand a kettlebell clean, but let's break this down. We start standing directly on top of the bell. We reach the hips back, chest is lifted, arm is locked in. As we drive the floor away, I'm gonna pull punch the weight up to the shoulder, bring it back to the floor. Pull punch, back down. My dumbbell people, your weight is gonna hover because the dumbbell is gonna be able to reach the floor. Neutral grip, we pull punch, bring it down. Notice that I am literally jumping. So we're working through explosive hip extension to get that weight up there. We're gonna start with 3 reps. Now here's the deal. If this is week 1, you might need to play with what feels heavy enough, but by week 6, hopefully you have found different weights that work for different rep ranges, okay? This load should not feel super fatiguing, but it should be heavy enough to feel like a challenge, okay? So we're gonna go for 3 reps. Let's start with the right side, kettlebell or dumbbell, your choice. So we start right on top of that bell. We bring it up, back down. 2 more. Last one. Very nice. We go right to that left arm. Once you're done your 3 and 3, we're moving right into some swan hops. So if you've never done a swan hop before, I'm gonna encourage you to do a hand support to start. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can always take away the hand support. So what this is gonna look like, bring my hand on my door here for some support. We find a single leg deadlift. We're taking little hops down in place. Notice that I am not trying to get a lot of height and I'm yielding into this position at the bottom, meaning I'm letting my knee bend, I'm letting the hips go back. We're gonna go for 10 on each side. If you feel really confident, you're gonna do this without the hand support, okay? So let's do left leg first, right leg goes back, find that hinge, we have 10 hops. I'm trying to land in the same spot every time. Once you hit 10, on one side, that's naturally gonna happen, great. We're gonna go to the other side. And you can think of this as 10-ish. We're getting about 10 foot contacts on each side here. Very good. Once you hit your 10 and 10, we'll put a minute on the clock. So where we're gonna go from here, we're gonna add a little weight to our clean, probably about 5 to 10 pounds, and go for 2 reps, all right? So switch your bell, and we are going up and load. So, big thing with our clean, we talked about already, this is explosive hip extension. So we're really just trying to prep our nervous system for our nice heavy squats that are coming up next. So if we are simply curling the weight up to the shoulder, the weight's not heavy enough, all right? I want you to grab something. It's really the good general rule of thumb with a power work, it's speed strength, right? So we want something that's heavy, but it still doesn't slow us down. So this should feel like a nice 6 out of 10 by the end of our reps, all right? We have 15 seconds. So again, this should be 5 to 10 pounds heavier than where you started. And if you were already using your heaviest load, you're just gonna give me 3 again on each side, okay? We'll split the difference. Let's go for 2s. Grab your load of choice. Very nice. Once you hit your 2s, ditch that weight. We're going directly into our swan hops. Left leg on the ground, right leg back. Let's try to get those toes to face the floor. We got 10. Once you hit 10 on one side, take a shake out, find your balance. We're gonna go right to the other, 10 more. Woo, all right, 1 minute on the clock. Final round coming up. You can guess what we have for our cleans. We're going singles. So again, 5 to 10 pounds more if you have access to it. The big goal here is to make this feel like a vertical jump. So as I come up, I'm not just pulling that weight to the shoulder. I'm getting that triple extension, ankle, knee, hip, using everything underneath me to pull and punch that weight up, whether you're using a kettlebell or a dumbbell. For the swan hops, again, you can use a hand support. I'm fine with that. I grew up a dancer, so I lived my life in this single leg deadlift position. But some big things we want to think about, whether you're using a hand support or not, we're trying to land in the same spot every time. So keeping that soft gaze forward is going to be really helpful, making sure that we're not looking all around, throwing off our balance. Back leg should be straight, toes to the floor. A lot of times I start to see this happening. Square off those hips, all right? Let's go singles for our clean. Last round here. Once you're done those singles, ditch your weight, 10 swan hops on each side. Let's go for it. Ooh, hopping all around on that last side. Totally fine, it happens. All right, so let's chat about what we're moving into. We've got our squats coming up. So ideally, whatever you left off with in block 1, so weeks 1 through 3, for your 6 to 8 reps, we ideally are moving that load for 10 reps today, okay? So if you need a little warm-up set, whether you're using free weights or a bar, start to go through that now. And then we are gonna do a heavier 5 after we do 2 sets at 10, okay? So start to grab some weights there. We'll talk through that again, and we'll make our way into our strength block. All right, so our main lift of the day, again, is a squat of choice. So we talked about in our baseline strength, so weeks 1 through 3, really working on a squat that targets our weaknesses. So if you are somebody like me, who's a little bit more quad dominant, I'm gonna encourage you to go for something like a back squat or a sumo squat. And then on the flip side, if you're a little bit more glute dominant, weaker in the quads, I'm gonna encourage you to go for something like a front squat with dumbbells or a barbell, okay? Ideally, we're sticking with that same movement pattern. If you are somebody who likes novelty and you wanna switch up your squat in this block, you are also more than welcome to do that, but this is what I would recommend, sticking with the same squat for 6 weeks, okay? In terms of these form breakdowns, again, our sumo squat, 1 to 2 weights at the center. We're coming down, nice tall chest, up. We're leading back with the hips. Front squat, weights are up on the shoulders, down and up, so it's a little bit more upright and quad focused. So again, we are doing 10 reps to start. We're gonna do 2 sets of 10 and then a set of heavier 5. So whatever you left off with in block 1, ideally I want you starting there, okay? So grab the weight that you were using. We're gonna go for 10 reps. If you need to scale up, if you need to warm up, again, should have been doing that, or you can hit pause right now, but we're gonna go for 10 reps of our squat of choice. Let's go for it. Once you are done your 10, we're gonna put 90 seconds on the clock. Nice long breather right here. Whew, okay. So ideally, again, we are using what we used in the first 2 blocks. Let's say you're on the first week of this program right here, and you're like, wow, that felt really challenging. Great, that's what we want. All of our RPEs, or rate of perceived exertions, in this block should scale up higher to an 8 out of 10, okay? So maybe 2 reps left in the tank. We're gonna do the exact same load again. Now, let's say you're in the 3rd week of doing this program, or this specific block, and you're like, that 10 isn't quite feeling like an 8 anymore. Go up and load for your next set, okay? 5 to 10 more pounds is always a good thing to add. Keeping in mind, we do still need to build 1 more time for our heavy set of 5, so don't go too crazy, okay? We got just about 35 seconds left of rest. In terms of our mechanics, let's get really specific. Again, we're trying to make this as specific as possible with what tissues we're targeting based off of your strengths or weaknesses. So just making sure if you're in a sumo squat, we're not making it too hingy, okay? We still want those quads involved. We're just trying to get more glute focus. With our front squat, making sure we're not caving over. Get those knees to bend. Let's go for round 2. We got 10 more reps. Front squat, sumo squat, back squat, whatever you're doing. And then we'll meet for our heavy set of 5. Once you are done there, 90 seconds on the clock, we're gonna go up and load. So all I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna double this weight, and I'm gonna add another bell down here. So that's a really good option if you maybe don't have singles that go up too high and you're doing a sumo squat. You can just hold 2 weights instead. But for everybody else, front squat, back squat, whatever type of squat you're doing, we're gonna add, I would say ideally 10 more pounds. But if you have not added this 5 or gone up to this heavy 5 yet, maybe you start with 5 more pounds to start. So just keeping that in mind. Again, everything today should kind of feel like an 8. So even though we're adding load for this heavy 5, and it's definitely gonna be a much different sensation by the end in terms of what it feels like, it should still match about the same intensity. So what I'm not looking for is our 10 reps being at like a 5 or a 8 out of 10, and then our 5 reps being a 10 out of 10. That was everything I had, okay? So don't go to an absolute failure. We're still looking for that 8. We have about 20 seconds left. So start to figure out what loads you want. And again, nice heavy 5. That's it. Might be jarring if this is your first week on it, but again, you've got 3 weeks to build. So let's get ourselves set up. You got about 10 seconds to get there. Utilize your breath. The first one coming out of the hole is going to be the most challenging, okay? So just know that. Here we go, 5 reps. Whoo! Once you're done your 5, excellent work. We're gonna move it on to our superset. So for this next superset, we're gonna be doing a single leg deadlift, nice and heavy, hands supported. So you want your chair, a wall, top of your bench, and then one really heavy weight, dumbbell or kettlebell. We're also gonna be doing some Copenhagen dips. So you'll need something that you can either hook your foot or your knee on. So let's grab those things and we'll make our way back. All right, we are moving into our first of 2 supersets. So we are starting with a hand supported single leg deadlift. I'm gonna use the top of my bench right here, kettlebell in the opposite hand. You can use kettlebell or dumbbell. Because this is so supported, you can load this guy up. This should feel like a solid challenge for your glute and hamstring. Again, we're going for that 8 out of 10, so 2 reps left in the tank. So if you need a grip or a glove to hold on to your weight of choice, more than welcome to grab that. I've got my opposite hand on the bench. Same leg as the side that's loaded is going back. I'm keeping this armpit nice and locked in, coming back up. Notice that my knee is getting a nice severe knee bend so I can really sit back in that hip, okay? Our reps here are 6 to 8 reps. So let's review how we can progress this week to week. Maybe on week 1, you start with 6 reps on each side. Maybe on week 2, you go to 8 reps on each side. Maybe on week 3, if it's not feeling like an 8 anymore, you add load and drop the reps down to 6, okay? So we all understand, I think, how we can manipulate the reps and the load to meet the intensity that we're looking for. But as always, we are chasing intensity, not just random linear progressions each week. So depending on how you're feeling with your recovery from your runs, you might need to add or subtract load, reps, or weight each week, depending on how it feels, okay? Let's go for it. I'm gonna always do the max amount of reps, so I'm doing 8, but you are going 6 to 8 reps. Let's start with the right leg on the ground. So left arm is loaded, left leg is moving. We take a big inhale. Exhale to push the floor away, come back up. Once you're done that first side, we'll simply flip it around, give yourself as much recovery as you need, and then we have 6 to 8 more on that second leg.
take all my silences and do your damn best to figure it out. That one look means I wanna go. I'm not mad means you're in trouble. If you know me, boy, you should know. You should.
Once you're done there, we're gonna move into a Copenhagen dip. So I have a little pillow for my foot here. If you are somebody who needs to do a shorter lever, you're gonna put knee and ankle, so lower limb, on top of this bench. We're coming down, pinching up, coming down, pinching up. If you are a little bit more advanced, you're simply gonna lengthen that lever so that anything from your mid shin all the way down to just your ankle is supported. In terms of that lever, depending on how your bench is set up and what crazy setup you've chosen for video angles, you can either keep that bottom leg straight or bent. I'm gonna go for bent because my leg or my bench is in the way. We're doing this for time, 30 seconds. So take your time with your reps. It's not about the reps, it's about the quality and the time under tension, okay? 30 seconds on each side. Let's go in 3, 2, and 1. So we're coming down, lift it up. I'm thinking of utilizing all these muscle fibers on the inside of the leg to push the floor away and pinch those legs together. Oh, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breather. We're gonna flip it around. I guess you're gonna see a butt view here. And we start this up in 3, 2, and 1. Second side.
If you love me, you should know me better. See the signs, say yes, I'll tell you all whatever. Be on mine. If I need you, say quick. Say something in the office. It's like terrorists.
We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a whole minute. Great work. All right. So let's talk some logistics as we're taking our breather. That was round 1 of 2. If anything in there did not feel like a solid 8 out of 10, you're gonna increase the intensity. How can we do that again? With this guy, we can add reps or load. With this guy, we can lengthen the lever. Another nice thing about the Copenhagen, especially doing it for time, instead of thinking I need to get up and down as many reps as possible, lengthen out your exhale. So you'll notice, you probably heard, every time I lift up, nice long exhale. If you can elongate that, hold that top position longer, you're gonna get more of those muscle fibers recruited for a longer period of time, okay? So little tiny ways that we can ramp up the intensity as needed. We've got about 10 more seconds here, and we're gonna go for another round. So we have 6 to 8 reps of this single leg deadlift with the hand support. Let's go for it when you're ready. Once you hit your reps on one side, give it a shake out, give that booty a little punch, woo, and we'll hit same reps on the second side when you're ready. Once you're done there, take a break, take a shake out. We're just gonna give everybody a chance to catch up, get on the same page. We're coming down for that Copenhagen dip again, okay? Not final round. That's wishful thinking. This is not something I love doing, but hey, it's gonna make us better runners, gonna protect us from injury, gonna make us stronger. Here we go, round 2 of 3. Let's go in 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds here. So again, elongate your exhale. Holding that top position, nice big squeeze before we control it on the way down. Last thing I wanna see is plop, okay? Control the bottom. You're halfway through. seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breather, we flip it around, we get the butt view. We all start it up in 4, 3, 2, and 1. 30 seconds. We're out in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a whole minute. All right, now we're in the home stretch for this block. So let's tidy up a few form things. So especially on the last block, I see like, oh, I just want to get through this. I want to get past all these exercises as quickly as I can, and form starts to suffer. So with the single leg deadlift, 2 big things. We talked about this in our swan hops. Hips pointed to the ground. Nice strong knee bend so we get a little bit more glute fired. These toes are also pointed. My arm locked in. So what I want to avoid is reaching my weight forward to the ground. I'm trying to keep that load as close to me as possible to keep it more in the glutes and the hamstrings, less in the low back. For that Copenhagen, let's really make sure that we've got elbow right under the wrist. A lot of times things start to get crunched with our positioning, so take your time in your setup. Really make sure that you've got that nice strong base under you, okay? We have one final round. Let's go for it. Grab your weight of choice, 6 to 8 reps. I will meet you for Copenhagen's. Once you are done with your single leg deadlifts, catch your breath. Whoo, and now, final round of Copenhagen's. It's a good day. All right, 30 seconds here. Pick your favorite side to start with. We're up in 3, in 2, and 1. Let's go.
So excited, you got on lockdown. You move it like I did before I found out. It's just a pretty face talker, good with his money, close to his mother. You see one-sided, you got alright now.
Finish out your last rep, and we switch to the second side. Let's all get there in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go. We're out of this in 3, 2, 1, and recover. Excellent work. All right, let's chat equipment for our second and final superset. We are gonna be doing some reverse lunges. So in our first block, we were doing slider lunges ideally. We'll talk about if you weren't doing the slider and how we can progress this in this block, but grab something you wanna reverse lunge with. We need 2 weights. And then we are gonna need our chair or our bench to sit on. We're gonna do something for our hip flexor. You want something really heavy to anchor your foot with. So whether that's a nice heavy dumbbell or kettlebell, or if you wanna put your foot underneath the side of your sofa. We'll chat about some options when we get into it, but let's grab that equipment. All right, final superset. So we're gonna continue with our reverse lunges. Again, in our first block, we were working on that slider reverse lunge. So now we're gonna ditch the slider and we're just going for a normal reverse lunge. So weights down by our side. This means you can probably go heavier than what you were using last block. because it's gonna be a little less unstable. We're coming down and up. Now let's say you're somebody who was already doing suitcase reverse lunges in our last block because you didn't have access to a slider. Two options here. You can either add more load, so you're just gonna do another 3 weeks with reverse lunges, not a bad thing. Or if you're somebody who wants to change it up, you're gonna rack the weights up on the shoulders and go for a racked reverse lunge instead. It's gonna be a little bit more upright of position, a little bit more core and trunk engagement. So you pick your poison there. Either way that you wanna progress this is fine by me, okay? In terms of load, we again want that 8 out of 10 intensity. So we're adding a little bit of intensity in this entire block, really building, and we're going 6 to 8 reps. All right, good old faithful. So again, week 1, maybe you do 6. Week 2, maybe you go to 8. Week 3, maybe you add load, drop it back down to 6. I'm gonna do 8 every week. Well, because it's the same video, but also because I wanna make sure you have time to get through everything, okay? So grab your load of choice, either low or racked high. We are going right leg moving, 6 to 8 reps. I will meet you halfway. It's an inhale down, exhale to push.
Sun's not gonna come out, and I don't hate every girl your eyes go to. I am not in love. Sky is not that blue. No, I'm not in love. No, I'm not with you. No, I'm not.
Once you hit your 6 to 8 on one side, take a shake out, let the body recover, give your grip a breather, and then we're gonna match it on the second side. Again, 6 to 8 reps here, okay? Let's go for it. Second side, left leg moves.
This sounds like, we got the same taste, that ain't my fault. If I slip and I somehow say it, you should know in advance I'm wasted. I don't really care what it feels like or what it looks like, babe. No, I am not in love. I am not thinking about you. Sun's not gonna come out, and I don't hate every girl your eyes go to. I am not.
Whew. Once you are done with those lunges, we're coming over to our bench or chair, and we're also gonna need something to anchor our foot. Let me show you the drill, and then I'll give you some brainstorming ideas of how you can do this. This is a hip flexor setup. So what we're trying to do is work on lengthening the hip flexor in a stretch position and strengthen it from there. So I'm gonna hook one foot under my weight. This is a 40-pound kettlebell. Opposite arm is holding my knee into the chest. I'm gonna lower back slow. I'm anchored under this weight, and then I'm gonna pull myself up a little bit faster. I probably gotta come a little bit heavier. If you don't have anything to anchor yourself on that's a weight like this, a few things that work really well underneath the side of your couch or an ottoman or a chair, okay? Not a chair, or your bed, that's what I meant to say. So we're gonna go for 5 on each side. If you need to pause me and figure out where you wanna do this, you're more than welcome to, but let's start it up. So I've got my anchor, I've got my leg in, we're going back slow, lots of length here. We're gonna pull ourselves back up. 4 more. Once you hit 5 on one side, adjust your positioning. We got 5 more on the opposite side.
Probably should've. That's my favorite line. Stick around, I'm with her. It just isn't what I'm like. Got no better way to put it. No, you
Woo! And we will put a minute on the clock. Excellent work. All right, I'm just gonna hang out on my little seat here. So we have that 2 more times. Let's think about intensity. Again, 8 out of 10. So on the reverse lunge, if you need to make it more challenging, you can either add reps or load. For this guy, I would say this doesn't necessarily need to be an 8 out of 10. If this is a brand new movement for you and you've never trained your hip flexors in a lengthened position, it's probably gonna feel challenging enough even just to learn the exercise. But really think of this as like some nice maintenance for the hips, okay? In terms of our form, let's really make sure on this hip flexor sit up that we're not rounding. So we really wanna hinge from this hip. And then as I come back up, I'm pulling from these fibers, digging into the top of my foot to come up more explosively. On the reverse lunge, again, we want that nice upright positioning, okay? Let's go for round 2. So grab your load, add it if you need to. We're going 6 to 8 reps.
stringing you along. If I cut you off, it just means I care. Now I shut you out. Must mean that it's gone so
Once you hit your 6 to 8 on one side, take your breather, take your shake out, and then we're gonna switch to the second when you feel recovered. A nice 15 to 30 second break is always nice between sides. When you feel ready, let's match it.
Just means I care, means I care. If I cut you off, it just means I care. If I cut you off, it just means I care. Downright shut you out. Must mean that it's gone somewhere. It's not what I want. It's just all I know.
Very nice work. Take your time finishing out those reps. We're gonna go back over to our hip flexor sit-up. Again, this is gonna stay constant at 5 for all 3 weeks that we're in this program. So you can make it harder by lengthening out the tempo, getting further into your range of motion. We got 5.
Two chains hanging off your chest when you kiss me. So strange, who'd have thought we'd get you with our history? You know I tried to be what he thought I wasn't. I tried to be everything I thought he wanted. And truthfully, I'm so over but stuck on it. And if I'm honest, I'm still waiting at the green light to tell you what I feel like. But I can't go on, still trying to make a beeline, stuck up in a
Ooh, once you hit your 5 and 5, we'll put a minute on the clock. One more round, home stretch. There's no finisher, no fancy stuff at the end. This is it. So one more round of reverse lunges, one more round of our hip flexor sit-up. Kind of the same thing. Don't let form go away in this last set. So the urge is typically to rush because in our last set, we're like, I would just like this to be over, please. I get that. I feel that. I would also like this to be over. Stay in it though, okay? It's gonna be max 2 minutes of work. Max. You can do anything for 2 minutes, okay? We have just about 20 seconds left of recovery. So if you need to add load into your reverse lunge for whatever reason, now is your last chance to do it, okay? We have 6 to 8 reps. Let's make our way up and over. I'm gonna start with the right leg moving, left leg in front. Finish it out strong. Let's go. Once you're done your 6 to 8 reps, ditch your weights. We're coming back over for one more round of our hip flexor sit-up. So get yourself situated, 5 and 5. I will meet you for the end.
Daddy went to law school and could have been an architect. Now he's turning 60 and wonders where the big dream went. Tucker never said a lot, 2 eyes down a little look. Took it to the Ivies and never really knew for what and none. I'll bite my tongue 10 times a day. I swear to God I might just pray. And I got a lot to lose, so might as well lose it anyway. And I manifested you were late. So the day you did, I had you beat. 3 steps ahead of everything.
All right, that's it. Excellent work today. So again, whether this is your first week in our building block here or your last week, you are absolutely crushing it. Any questions, as always, leave it down below and I'll see you in the next one.